Welcome back. You are with us on Trading Hour, and the company we're focusing on now is Godrej Consumer. It came out with the numbers yesterday, more or less in line with the expectations. Some of the geographies have done quite well, whereas the others have lagged behind because of the COVID impact. So let's get chatting. We have Nisaba Godrej joining in to give us more color on the business. Nisaba, great to have you with us this morning. Thanks for joining in. So I think it's playing along expected lines, right? We've seen the massive improvement in the HI business, in the hygiene business, whereas I think personal care is what went a little easy in the quarter. First of all, the big broad question, I mean, how much of the business has come back to pre-COVID normalcy, would you say now?
Yeah, thank you for having me on your show, and good morning. So I think it's a bit of a mixed bag. So actually, what you're seeing in categories like household insecticides and hygiene, which play into the consumer demand of keep me clean, keep me safe from malaria, dengue, from the coronavirus. Actually, demand is higher than it was pre-COVID. I think in sort of other areas like hair colors or braids in Africa, we did see a softening of demand, especially in April, because we had such supply chain challenges. But we're seeing sequential improvement even in those categories.
Nisaba, good morning. Prashant here.
Good morning. Hi, Prashant.
Hi. Soaps as a category saw a revenue decline of about 2%. One would have thought it would go the other way. Is there something, I mean, which can be done for that portfolio? Because seems like, maybe competitors which have association with the hygiene proposition, so as to speak, have done well. I mean, at least what we've seen from other companies. What's happening with the soaps portfolio at Godrej?
So just a couple of things. When I look at it as personal wash, and if I put, hand wash and the other products into the soap bucket, there's definitely sort of very strong growth. I think a couple of things that we'll see. We did have supply chain issues in soaps also in Q1, especially with our smaller SKUs. So we focused on the bigger SKUs. So we feel that growth will come back in the quarters going forward. And we are also making some pivots on our portfolio. So Synthol actually has always been a germ protection soap by its formula. We've not called that out as strongly in the past, which we will be doing sort of going forward. So I do think we will see soaps in growth also going forward.
So Nisaba, then to draw a conclusion on the top line before we get to margins and other things, I'm guessing you've managed to iron out a lot of the supply chain issues now. So what sense can you give us on volume growth for the coming quarters?
So I think a lot of the, we have, supply chain is definitely sort of, up and running and being very resilient. So I do feel that our volume growth will also be resilient sort of going forward in the coming quarters.
So are we talking about it scaling up to maybe the mid-single digits? Any sense of a rough range that you can give?
I'm not going to comment on exact numbers.
Okay, all right, Prashant.
And because, Nisaba, a lot of the analysts who track the company over the last couple of months have are betting on sort of a turnaround and a break from what we've seen in the last couple of years. And hence kind of sort of pressing on that point about what are you broadly seeing without going into specifics for the rest of the year FY21?
So we are, I've sort of discussed this sort of quite a few times that, 85% of our portfolio is either household insecticides, hygiene, or these value for money products. And we think they will be sort of very resilient during this period. So we are looking at, very high focus on growth and, single-pointed agenda to drive growth, serve our consumers at this time. I think we've also seriously pulled up our execution socks during this time. And I think that's, I think the household insecticide is not just a demand sort of blip. It's also, our innovations playing out, us taking market share. And I think that would also count for in hygiene. So I think it's both. There is the consumer demand, but we are also executing sort of well to the consumer demand.
Okay. Nisaba, I want to talk about ad spends because we saw this dramatic drop in what, a 45-46% drop in ad spends in the first quarter. Is that a sign of things to come, or was it a one-off? Because you just told us, for instance, on Synthol that perhaps there will be a bit of a repositioning to bring out the germ protection, the safety and hygiene aspect of it.
Yeah, some of that's already happened with the packaging and stuff. No, I think, we pulled back on advertising mostly because, demand was higher than what we could supply in a lot of these categories. So it didn't make too much sense to be then spending money on advertising. But what you will see going forward, as we go forward, we have to educate our consumers about these sort of new products that we have, whether it's in household insecticides, hygiene, in some of the other categories where we're sort of pivoting. So you will see, our investments in advertising definitely going up.
Okay, so just a related question. Since there is such demand for the hygiene category, is the market at all showing any sign of price elasticity? I mean, do you plan to take any kind of price hikes in that category, or is it too early?
Yeah, I think we're always looking at sort of prices. So revenue management will be part of what we do this year, and we have seen some price, raw material prices going up and stuff. So I think there is some amount of price elasticity, but it'll have to be product by product.
Nisaba, could you talk to us a little bit about the international business? I mean, Indonesia saw growth, Africa saw degrowth, especially Africa. I mean, what do you see for that business from here? 20% plus revenue decline in that market. Yeah.
So in Africa, what we saw was that April was a complete washout. So it just the bottom just dropped off. And then, May and June definitely was sequentially much better. And then in July, we've had strong growth. So we feel that this business will recover. And that's the short-term perspective. I think on the longer-term perspective also, we've been doing a lot of initiatives to strengthen the business, whether it's in sort of product portfolio, in GTM. We've made our big push in household insecticides with a very innovative product has started this year on the African continent. So, we are very focused both on the short and the medium term of really doing well by that business.
Okay, I'm also looking at the geographical breakup. I mean, the margin expansion in the India business has been really phenomenal in the first quarter. What should we expect in terms of...
I think, a lot of that's driven by advertising. So I don't think you should expect that sort of quarter on quarter. But I think we should recognize that in businesses like India and Indonesia, where they're deep P&Ls, sales growth does drive profitability growth also because of the scale leverage.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much, Nisaba, for speaking with us and explaining